What's up, guys? This is another 48 minutes of game. Listen, it's Monday, Motivational Monday. Some of our key things that I want to leave you with before we even start is follow through and follow up. My guy Tim, we talked about that. Follow through and follow up. What's up? Where you at, Kennedy?
Here. I'm right here. Let's get it popping. Follow through, follow up. Bang, bang, bang. I feel like that's going to be a reoccurring theme throughout the show. So I'm excited for that. It's time for us to tap right into quarter number one. We got a businessman coming through. He goes by the name of David Moreno. David, what's up? Say what's up to the people. Welcome to the show.
Dave,
Davey,
what's
Chris,
good,
what's going
babe?
on? Thank you guys for having me.
Listen, Dave,
How's it going, brother? Always a,
it's
a blessing to be around you.
it's March 1st and it's Motivational Monday all at the same time. Now, I don't know about everybody else, Dave, for the last 2 months, but if they haven't got started, they need to get started. So we're starting this week off with follow up and follow through.
hmm
That's what we're doing. So, Dave, so happy to have you on the show. I want people to know that, you being an attorney by trade, right?
hmm
And then being partners of many companies and a developer. We're looking at business. What piece of advice do you have for our young entrepreneurs and business people out there that's looking to get started uh, in business?
Yeah, the first thing is be yourself, stay true to yourself, right? A lot of us have these ideas of what a businessman should look, talk, dress, and act like, or an attorney should look, talk, dress, and act like. But what we fail to realize is that folks don't want carbon copies of themselves. They want individuality, right? So as you're going through your journey, don't try to be the person that you think they want you to be. Be the person that got you in the door in the first place. And then the second thing to do is be competent at your craft. No matter what it is, be the best at it. The more competent you are at your craft, the more you'll be able to establish credibility. Now, Chris, you and I are close. I know all about, your competencies and your skill set. And one thing that I always say about you, brother, is that, you're the best trainer in the world, but you're also one of the best business people I know, right? Because you took the time to study, be a student of your craft, and then every time you approach it with that zeal and competency that you need. And for me, I've used that to navigate from each sector that I've went to, establish my credibility first and foremost, and then elevate from there.
Wow, master your craft. And the funny thing is, Dave, that you say that, and I respect that at the utmost, is a lot of people want to skip steps. They
Yep.
don't want to do the due diligence that is required when it comes to mastering your craft.
hmm
When I look at business and I look at how business applies to basketball, I've been thinking about it over the last week or so about a business structure and a team structure when it comes to basketball. And the correlation between the two is so close because everybody got to know their role. You're going to have leaders. We're going to need everybody to be a superstar within their role. Then, when somebody's not picking up where they need to be picking up at, we have to be able to pick that teammate up. So it's like so many things that go into business that is the same structure in sports. So I'm trying to correlate the two so that I can help the business people get more motivated as well as the athletes and the people that have been in that background setting.
Yeah,
So
so I'm
Dave,
gonna go
mhm.
ahead.
No,
Now I
no,
was
you
gonna
got it.
say that's a really great parallel that you found, and I'm gonna use basketball as an example because obviously I know your listeners know basketball, so you're only as good as the 12th man. Use a basketball number reference. That's with any corporate team. If the last person on your bench, if your front desk person isn't putting out the same energy that the CEO is putting out, the whole company can fail based on that. So you've got to set team values, and then everybody has to follow what those values are, whether it's a championship team or a championship company.
Wow, wow. So let's speaking of a company, Media Abundance. Can you give us some background of that company that you guys just started, and what is your vision with Media Abundance?
Yeah, absolutely. Media Abundance is an amazing company. It's owned by myself, David Meltzer, Mike Ramola, two amazing entrepreneurs, both attorneys by trade. And essentially, what the company is it is a company that's been created to help folks elevate their game, get to the next level. So we are a startup and tech accelerator. So what we
Ooh,
do is we take all of the situational knowledge of the three partners, and I'm talking about, about 75 years of cumulative situational knowledge and platinum Rolodexes, basically relationship capital, and we help leverage that to work with the companies, the startups, the founders that we have to get them to the next level, whether that's to help them with funding, or that's to help them with branding and marketing, or that's to help them find other strategic partners. We pride ourselves on being, one phone call away from pretty much any business person in the world. And that goes back to that credibility, right? When you have that credibility, you can make that phone call. You know that those A-list people are going to pick up.
yeah, because you gotta build credibility by being consistent. And when people see you be consistent with who you are in business and even in your practice, it allows for them to trust you more and more. So, Kennedy, bring that question back up. We had a question. How did you get started in business?
I got started in business when I was 15 years old. I started my first company. It was a clothing line. And I realized I wanted money, right? And the best way to get it was to optimize the time value, right? So for me, I played basketball. I went to school. My grades were important. I didn't have time to go work at, Radio Shack for 8 hours for
Right.
small pennies. I had to figure out how to make more money legally and in a good amount of time. So that was my first business. But my mentors, I've always had strong mentors. I've always had strong mentors and strong mentees. And that's one thing that people don't realize. You can learn just as much from the people that you're giving the game to as the people that give the game to you. So always have 3 mentors and 3 mentees at any given time in life. And one thing that's been really beneficial for me is to have mentors that are way outside of the space that I'm in. Right? If I have mentors that are doing the exact same things as I'm doing, they think and approach things the same way I do. Where if you have a mentor that's a little bit further away, he can give you fresh, or she can give you fresh, new and novel ideas. So obviously, one of my greatest mentors is Dave Meltzer, my business partner. The man is a genius. Growing up early, my grandma was one of my mentors. I mean, a lot of times people overthink it. You can have a mentor in your house, right? People can wear
Right.
many, many hats. Right? I'm sure you're a mentor to your son. He may not realize that he's, your dad, but you're also a
Right.
mentor. But it's really important to have mentors that are in totally different fields than you are.
That you mentioned 3 mentees and 3 mentors. That that makes me think about the analogy of, if your cup is full, no one can pour into you. So
Mm-hmm.
in order for someone to pour into you, you must be pouring out so that you can have room for somebody else to pour in you, if that makes sense. So if you
It
can
makes a
picture,
whole lot of sense. Whole
so
lot of
for
sense.
for me, I pride myself on mentoring and developing people. I pour out everything. But since I pour out everything, I have room for guys like you to pour into my life. But if I was the only one, the guru, that I kept my cup full, there would be no room for no one to pour into my cup. And that would be stunning my growth. Kennedy, bring that question back up again. How did sports help you in business? What skill sets helped out?
Being able to lose, right? Because in business and in sports, there's oftentimes you can have the perfect game plan. You can be the best player, the most talented, but there are going to be things that happen that are completely out of your control, right? The ball can bounce anyway, no matter what the sport is. So being prepared to take some lumps, right? And
Right.
and from them lumps, what do? You get lessons. right? And from the lessons, you learn to get better. You won't make those mistakes again. So that's one thing that you learn. No matter how great you are, there's somebody better in sports. And you're around some of the top athletes, and they'll tell you, man, like I'm sure LeBron walks into the gym like, man, that guy's putting in work. I got to work harder, right? So for me, sports, that's one good lesson that I got from it. But then also, buying in and working towards a goal that's bigger than you, right? Working with the team, everybody bringing different skill sets to work towards one common goal. That is a great parallel for business. It's helped me in my legal career, and then also just confidence, right? Being a former athlete, having had performed, in front of a crowd, having the pressure of, your team success riding on what you're doing individually helps you have confidence in the courtroom and in the boardroom.
That's crazy. Failing in front of other people allow you to grow. So the one thing that I take from sports is the ability to fail in front of someone and not be able to reach your potential, but it allows you to grow. I think athletes grow faster in certain instances than people that don't compete, because your entire life you have to perform in front of an audience. You win some, you lose some. You may have a good quarter, you may have a great quarter, you may have a bad quarter. At the end of the day, you're going to grow from it. And with being able to attack that allows for growth. We got another good question coming in. Hey, Ricardo, how you doing? How do you figure out all of the different aspects of business without being around people who know who or haven't ever thought about business themselves?
By studying, being a student. Every single thing that I embark on is just like, the glacier analogy, right? I'm 10 tons below the surface. What you see here is only attributable to all of the things that I've done before I've gotten here, meaning, the studying, also the people around me, right? Have people around you that are going to elevate you, right? Dave says all the time, if it doesn't feed you, it bleeds you. So just having folks around you with the same mindset that are going to hold you accountable to say, hey, Dave, did you study today? Right? Hey, Dave, did you get your workout in so that you can be your best self? So for me, it's those things, having the consistent schedule to study, to improve myself so that every single day I can get incrementally better. I think a lot of people make the mistake of, trying to hit the home run, every single time. But the real growth, the real success comes with being, 1% better every single day, and what things you do daily to help you get 1% better and staying consistent with those things.
When you say consistency, a lot of people talk about hard work, but they always forget the word consistent. Because when I look at it and I look at the people that I'm around, I'm not around anyone that does not work hard, Dave, including yourself, including Kennedy. There's nobody that I'm around that does not work hard. The separation is the consistent work ethic and that consistent working hard. And that's doing something over and over again, even when you experience failure, man. Thank you, Dave, man, for coming on, dropping 12 minutes a game in the first quarter. Kennedy, you got it from here.
He gave us some major gems. Stick around. We might bring you back during the Q&A section at the end. But before we let you go, why don't you shout out your socials so everybody can go ahead and follow you?
Yeah, absolutely. On LinkedIn, it's David Moreno. Instagram, David Moreno ESQ.
Awesome. Well, we're going to tap in with you. It's time for us to transition to quarter.